Yo, what up, is Don?
Similarly here.
Back up in it. Light, minimal shoes.
Yes.
I love them.
I'm a light and minimal shoe kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they can make it, have some other strong points as well as just being light. I got a big foot, so it's kind of a big deal for me.
Yeah, like for me, like the 0.2, the Kobe 1 Pro and stuff like that is freaking so nice to play in. 0.1 even. They're really, really nice shoes to play in, but like, I just don't find myself like going to pick them up, as a ball shoe whenever I leave for the gym, because it's just like bulky and heavy.
Yeah.
And then when I find another shoe that's like kind of like the similar like performance level, but then it's lighter and minimal, I tend to go for the lighter minimal shoe. Like same thing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
100%.
exactly. So light and minimal is pretty important for us. I'm sure it's very opinionated. Like there's some people that don't care about that, but we do care about that. So we're gonna name some of the most lightest and most minimal feeling shoes out right now. This has nothing to do with responsiveness. Responsiveness is different as far as like if you tell the shoe and you stop and do something, the shoe doesn't really lag. Like if you have a really soft cushion, that's laggy, because if you want to, like maybe you're doing a lateral movement and then once the cushion compresses, then you lose like a millisecond and you're like, oh, and then you kind of go,
Yeah.
Same thing with support. If it's not supportive, maybe your foot is sliding out of the shoe or whatever, and maybe if the traction isn't good, then you're kind of screwed on responsiveness as well. But we're not talking about that. It's a whole different video. We're just talking about the lightest and most minimal shoes. So if you guys want to cop any of these, we'll leave links below. But let's get it started off with the LeBron Witness Tree. $90, $80.
Yeah, that's a budget model for sure.
It's a budget model. Lots of budget models feel super minimal and light.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's probably cheaper to do, right?
Yeah.
Less material.
Exactly. So material is really thin, and it's like this textile upper. Cushion is just. I feel like the cushion is just so thin that also makes it feel really light and minimal as well. It's like not super chunky underneath your foot. And if you want a really light and minimal shoe, I'd say the Witness 3 is probably the most light and minimal shoe on this list. Which I don't know why I started with it, but there's that. Next shoe is the Kobe AD Exodus.
Yeah.
So the material is just super thin. I'd say the cushion is really chunky in the heel. Not really chunky, but pretty chunky. So that doesn't really help it that much. But other than that,
the upper is super slim and minimal. Yeah, just the cushion makes it not probably the top tier on the list, but on the list nonetheless.
Yeah. All right. Next shoe is the Anatomic Spawn Low. I mean, the material, the foam back mesh is really thin. Like, and that kind of continues throughout the entire upper. It does get a little bit foamy, but not super thick in the ankle area. And cushion isn't too thick or chunky at all. Traction's good. I guess we're not really counting traction, but traction's really good. But yeah, if you want a really light and minimal shoe, I think that was like 11 ounces or something like that, then Anatomic Spawn is the way to go. Next shoe on this list is the Harden Volume 3. Harden Volume 3, weight-wise, is definitely not the lightest shoe, but like, I feel like that has to do with like the premium touches, like like the what's that called, like the metal aglet thing on the top.
Oh yeah, the emblem.
Yeah, the emblem, and then like you have like leather touches and stuff. So I feel like that's why it's a little heavy, but the materials are super thin. Cushion is very, very thin as well, and it doesn't feel chunky or bulky at all. So yeah, that's a really light and minimal shoe as well. Next shoe is a PG3.
Yeah, pretty minimal. You also feel pretty responsive, which is good. I know we're not talking about response, but overall, the upper isn't too bulky. It's a low. That always helps.
Yes.
And the midsole is not too chunky either. I mean, it's pretty, I wouldn't say dead in the heel. You get a little nice compression, but overall, like the midsole doesn't protrude much, so pretty streamlined.
Yes, and last but not least is the Curry 6. I'd say this is probably like number 2. Lightest and most minimal shoe on this list, and the material just has that knit, but it's just really, really thin. The cushion, I don't like how it comes up on the sidewall.
Yeah.
And that feels a little chunky, not like crazy chunky, but just a little chunky, which is kind of annoying. But other than that, super minimal and just really light on your foot, dude.
I mean, that upper, it doesn't get much more minimal
Yeah,
than what that upper is. It's so
Yeah.
thin.
It really has like no foam inserts
Yeah.
or anything. We did a chop shop, so yeah. So if you want a light and minimal shoe, get any of these shoes and you should be good to go. If you guys want us to do a most responsive shoe, maybe we'll do that next. But anyways, if you guys want to cop, we'll leave links below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next one.
Later.